Hey, beautiful people. Sarah here from Beyond NLP Coaching, your one stop place to break free from old patterns, move rapidly through challenges, and expand your growth even more. Today's discussion is all about your inner critic, that sneaky voice that stops you from moving forward. It drains your confidence and it sucks the joy out of all the good parts of your own life. And to help you soften that voice, I'll be guiding you through a simple mindful meditation. It's a gentle process that helps you notice that inner critic and create that distance from it. And then we're going to box it away so you can move forward with clarity, calm, and self trust. In order to do all of that today, I want to actually talk about what the inner critic actually is, what it sounds like, what it looks like, and how it shows up in your day to day practices. Now, if you're someone that overanalyzes, overthinks, is overconsumed by people's judgments, opinions, or anything as such like that, then this is a great platform just to listen to this video today. What I have found with certain clients that are overanalyzers and really, really overthink things, they're living inside their head. And something I learned over the years practicing and doing a lot of his courses is Tony Robbins. He says something like, if you're in your head, you are dead. Meaning, the more you think and the more stimulated you are inside your own mind frame, mindset, then you're not in the outer world living. And the more you're inside your head, you're dead, meaning you cannot comprehend certain information, have proper conversations, or move along with your life because you're so busy criticizing, living inside, judging inside, compounding negative beliefs, decisions, opinions of yourself. And then sometimes maybe blaming someone else for everything that's going on inside of your mind, which is not very cool, right? The inner critic is that inner voice that's pretty much trying to keep you safe. See, we were born almost like we were some habitual animal living in some Amazon and trying to keep our body safe. Or that's what the mind is trying to do anyway. And while the mind is trying to do that, it protects you by limiting you in taking risks, limiting you in how you drive yourself, how you drive your life, how you move forward in life, right? And the way it limits you is by the decisions, by the dis-ease, the discomfort. And mind you, this is compounded by the years and effects of not only trauma, you don't have to have experienced trauma, but the influence of your caregivers, your parents, your siblings, those neighbors that were always whining and saying certain things, that teacher that said something that made you feel inadequate or made you make a decision unconsciously that says something like, I'll never be good enough, I'll never be smart enough, I'll never grasp the grades and get up another level, I'll always be in this low grade, or that so called friend that stabbed you in the back. Now, everyone is a backstabber. Now, everyone I cannot trust anymore. So, these are decisions that you make along the journey, regardless of having a stimuli of trauma. But these multiple influences catch up. You become an adult, you have an experience, and then you start to feel a certain way. And it's so important to catch on because your brain is trying to keep you safe. That's its job. Just the way a mother or a parent, a father or a caregiver or a foster parent, whoever it is trying to keep a child safe, your brain is doing the same thing. The only thing is, in this safety net, you find that you start to become limited in your beliefs, in your values, in the decisions, in your decision making and how to move forward in life, right? And due to all of that, you feel stuck, you get the overwhelming feeling. And through that overwhelm, what tends to happen over time, anxiety is provoked because you are not listening to a deeper voice inside. These are all, as I like to call it, the onion layers that Shrek once said in Shrek number one. If you remember when he met Fiona, I think it was one, not two, but when he met Fiona and they're walking down the bush and they're walking along the swamp or something, and he had an onion and he bit through the onion. It was quite gross. But Fiona turned around and says, "What is that? What are you doing?" He goes, "See this onion? Life is like an onion. It's filled with layers." Think about that for a moment. Life is like an onion and it's filled with layers. So we've got one layer over one layer, one decade, one century, one year of our life. The things and the influence and the things that we've experienced have layered us to protect us in some way, shape, or form, right? So the unconscious then creates a dis-ease, a discomfort. Let's give it the name of anxiety, which is a fear of uncertainty, the fear of tomorrow. If I make this decision, it might mean that the outcome might be so crap, and so then you fear it so much, so you stay in this particular position that you're in, right? And so because of that, you're stuck, right? This is a layer. The deeper intention behind that why, it's keeping me safe. If I go down and peel back the layers, it's keeping me protected so I don't get hurt, so I don't feel pain, so I don't reinforce the fact that I'm a failure according to what the teacher or the parent said or whoever it was that planted some sort of seed that your unconscious mind actually took on board. Okay? So this inner critic, I want to label it for you. I see the inner critic as a roommate. Think about it for a moment. If you're renting out a property and you couldn't afford the property, and so you had to share it with someone, and so you have more than one person sharing the space so you can afford the rent, okay, you have a roommate, correct? Now, I don't know if you've had this experience, but I myself have not had a roommate experience, but had a friend that was living with a roommate, okay? That particular friend and her roommate at the time was very passive aggressive. Okay. She was living with a male roommate. He was very messy. He was very dominant. He actually didn't pay half the rent on time, wouldn't deposit it in the account, wouldn't do the shopping. If she got food, he would eat most of her food, wouldn't compensate by actually gradually adding some more food in the fridge. And she was so drained. She was so exhausted. I remember when I'd speak to her, she was hating her life. Okay. Whatever her job was, she was going there feeling crap and shit, and then she'll come back home, and then she just feels more crap. There is nothing working towards what she wants. She's depleted. The energy was low. He was smoking weed. He wasn't even in his head half the time. So it was he was off his head. He was always high. And so she was very unhappy. This is a very long time ago. I remember telling her, why don't you just leave? Just like that, Sarah, I was quite naive at the time, thinking, oh, it's so easy. Just up and leave. Take your couch in your bed and up and leave. But it's not that easy. She looked at me and she goes, Sarah, well, how do I do that? I need money for a bond because this place that I shared with this man, I'm the one that set the bond. It's in one person's name, and then he shared the room and he pays the half. If I remove myself from this environment, I need a bond again because I'm probably going to lose the bond because the house is pretty filthy. Secondly, I need, what was it, a few weeks in advance at the time. I need to get a removalist to move my furniture, my fridge, and da 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 da. And then I probably won't get rent because I need to break the contract. And if I break the contract, that means he's going to get kicked out. I'm like, okay, so why don't you just kick him out since it's in your name? And she just sat back on that couch. I remember when I had visited her. Well, I can't do that. Well, what do you mean? I'm afraid of him. I'm like, what could he potentially do? He's high all the time. She goes, exactly. He's not there. He doesn't pay the right attention. He's not 100% stable in his mind frame for me to kick him out. And for me to do the second option, who will take me on board if I haven't cleaned up this mess? Well, I need to get rid of this mess and I've got to break the contract, which means we got to separate. And I'm afraid to actually confront him. And so this woman now is stuck with a roommate that she chose to invite so she can save some money, so it can help her. And the positive intention out of that was she doesn't have to work 6 days, she can work 4 days, let's say. And it was a good thing. So there was a positive intention around it. But that positive intention's outcome looked very negative in her life. And based on that negativity, it was showing up in her energy. It was showing up in how she's showing up in life. She was quite depressed. She was very down. She just wasn't feeling adequate. Now, the inner critic, the mind, the part that says you're not good enough, you cannot trust yourself, you can't do this, we can't take risk. Who are we to be able to do so and so? Let's just stick to it. It is what it is. We've been doing it for many years. The roommate has been there for count amount of years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, doesn't really matter. They've been compounded and been here with us. It's just easier to live with it as opposed to let it go. That inner critic sabotages your life. Think about the onion layers. It's a layer with a positive intention keeping you safe. That's why it is there. That's all the reason. That's the potential why it is there. It's to keep you safe. It's not there for anything more or anything less. If we peel back the layers and we see why, and we question with curiosity, why are you trying to keep me safe? What is it that you're trying to keep me safe from? Meaning, your inner critic is a high analytical person that imagines that everyone is judging them. And you question that inner critic, that roommate that has taken up too much space, too much room in your mind. And you question and say, how are you serving me? And it gives you an answer like, well, I'm keeping you safe. Well, how is the safety keeping me safe? Well, because people have hurt you from the past. Well, if we look deeper and peel back the onion layer, what is it in the past that you and I have not gotten over that we can recognize right now? It no longer exists. And I'm an adult. I'm older than the age of 5, 10, 20. I'm 30, 40, 50. Now, can you see that? Now we're negotiating with the layers and the reason why the layers are held, and we get to the core. And as we peel them back, well, I've got to do this. Not only for you not to be hurt and to stay safe and so no one, steps on your tail, but because I believe you're not good enough. That's the core. It hits somewhere for you. And it could be something else. I'm just giving an example here, right? Because you're not good enough. Now it will be great to explore, when did you decide that we or I or you are not good enough? The unconscious mind will begin to think, well, when we were 9 years old, the teacher said you'll never be successful. And so a decision was made based on a comment that you received. And that decision says, I'm not good enough. But through that decision, it built layers. That layer, one of them was judging others or imagining others are judging you. The other layer is keeping you safe but not taking any risks, because you might fall back in the layer of judgment. And that layer falls back into the layer of the core, I'm not good enough. But then the layers have built up over the years, the resistance to change, the resistance to let things go, the resistance to be free, right? And so the important part is to get curious instead of being stubborn or avoiding or saying, I don't want to think about you, it is what it is. I want you to explore it further. I want you to experiment with it by questioning it. Well, I can see that you're here. You've been here with me for a decade, 2 decades. It's a lifetime for me. I'm tired. It's not serving in my relationship with my children, with my family, with my friends, at work, whatever aspect of your work or life or parts of your life, it isn't serving. And start peeling back those layers. When you start to get curious, you start to break down those walls. When you break down those walls, you have room to negotiate with that roommate. When you get to the core of things, you have a couple options. You can tell the roommate it's time to leave and you need to go. Or you can just recognize it and keep it. It's up to you. And so, what I want to do with you is I want to guide you through a simple meditation that aligns you and brings you back into stillness and expands your awareness. So, I want you to find a quiet place where you're not going to be disturbed, silence your phone, close the doors and windows so you don't hear the cars outside. Maybe make sure the kids are asleep, or if you're at work, please don't do this at work. Do it in the comfort of your home. It'll only take us anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll run the process with you. And I just want you to tap inside of yourself, okay? I want you to keep an open mind and take it as it comes. You don't have to close your eyes in the process, but if you choose to close your eyes, it's a lot more visually kinesthetic. Even if you cannot visualize anything, and I know some people cannot, But the eyes, when they're closed, that darkness allows you to go inwardly into a sense of stillness. And that's what we want to create. We want to open up a window, a gap where the layers have been peeled back, or we peel them back during the process to get to the core, maybe negotiate. Hello, can we let you go? So if you're ready, maybe pause this video and then come back as we begin. So now if you've unpaused me, I want you just to begin by sitting up straight or laying down. It doesn't really matter. It works either way. Keep an open mind, and let's begin the process by allowing you to take a nice, long stretched breath in. And as you breathe in, I just want you to hold that breath for a moment, and then just allow that breath to subtly come out through your mouth. Slow down your brain and close your eyes if you choose. And during this process, all I want you to do is to allow yourself to be invited on a little journey that will allow you to explore a sense of stillness. Take another long, deep breath in, hold, and as you begin to breathe out, just notice the weight, the tension, the sensations, maybe even the inflammation, or whatever you might be carrying in your right ear, the noise, the outer space, the outer critic. And now I want you to go to your left ear and begin to notice any tension, any weight, any inflammation, anything that you might be carrying, any sensation. And just drop it and let it go. Then allow yourself to move into your right shoulder. Notice what you may or may not be carrying. Then move along to your left shoulder and let everything just go. Move along down to your right elbow, into your left elbow, down your arm, both your arms, into your fingertips, and out your nails. Now, just relax. Allow that relaxation to begin to stretch down your forehead, into your throat, and just soothe any tension, any pain, any discomfort, any weight, and just allow it to wash through your forehead, down into your throat, into your chest, all the way through to your abdomen, into your thighs, down your right leg, into your right knee, into your right calves, down, all the way down, into your right ankle, down your right foot, and out of your toes. Now allow any leftover tension, pressure, weight, uncomfortability to come down through your forehead, into your throat, down your chest, into your abdomen, down your left hip, into your left leg, down your thighs, into your knees, down your calves, into your ankle, down the back and the front of your left foot, and out your toes. Now, just notice the wave of movements, the energy shifting from the right side into the left side, and then the left side moving into the right side. And let it go. In a moment, I'd like to invite you to just go on a small little journey, very small journey. This journey will allow you, if you allow yourself the permission today, to negotiate, to mediate, and maybe to let go of that roommate, that inner critic, the one that may be sabotaging your life or maybe holding you back from your full potential, your full capabilities. And that moment begins by me allowing you to allow yourself maybe the permission to just put all your focus on your inner mind. And if you peel back those layers one by one, and I wonder if you can ask your unconscious mind through this stillness, from the right hemisphere to the left hemisphere, just to notice, nothing more, nothing less. Notice the layers and notice beneath each layer where the core could be. And you don't have to know. Your unconscious knows already. If you can give permission to yourself today to allow the unconscious to take part of this journey and allow yourself to surrender, to let go, to be present, to be free. So the unconscious mind can do the work. Maybe you can allow the unconscious mind to renegotiate, to mediate, and maybe recognize that you are strong enough to make your own decisions. I mean, your unconscious could notice that years of experience through life, you no longer need to hold on to the things that no longer serve you. I mean, if this roommate, this inner critic, has been there this whole time to protect you, to keep you safe, to keep you well, wouldn't you agree that you can also do the same without the layers, the limiting beliefs, the negative decisions that may have had a negative impact on your life, the negative sensations in your body, the negative invitations of dis-ease, discomfort, and anything in between? Wouldn't you agree? It is time to let it go. Let that part of you go. Isn't it time to open that door and allow the inner critic the direction that it's no longer accepted here. It is no longer invited here. It's no longer welcomed here. I mean, it served its purpose while it was there, did it not? And it no longer serves its purpose in the now. And so it's time, if you give yourself permission today, to open that door and let it go. Let it go. Yes, just let it go. Sometimes it's best to not negotiate, to not confront, but just to open the door. So the negative energy, the negative sensations, the negative beliefs, the negative values, the negative decisions, the negative images, the negative feelings, to just evaporate, to just leave now. Let it go easily and effortlessly if you give yourself permission. Let it go. Let it go. Notice how much lighter you can feel. How much more clarity you can have. How much more joy you can invite. How many more choices you can choose to do after you're free from the burden of the inner critic, the unwelcomed roommate that has and probably did serve you for some time. But it's time, wouldn't you say? It is time to let it go. That's it. Let it go. You're doing a great job by letting it go. That is, if you've given yourself the permission to let it go. And when you let it go and you've opened the door to extract all that negativity outside of you, outside of yourself, you now could maybe sense, see, feel, hear, notice the possibilities for change. I mean, you might accept the suggestion that you are good enough. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are intelligent. You are confident. You can, and you will, and you are learning to trust yourself. And through that trust, you can respect yourself. And through that respect, you can surrender to believe that you are worthy of being treated well, to be spoken to well, to invite a roommate who respects you, who speaks highly of you, who encourages you, who tells you you're beautiful, you're great, you're amazing, who looks up to you, who idols you, who believes that your confidence is an energy that exchanges to them. They sit in the evenings just listening to what positive things you have to say about life, about family, friends, the gratitude of just being alive, regardless of what you don't have, because you focus on what you do have. And this roommate is reminiscing on your confidence, your gestures, your trust in yourself, your beliefs of worthiness. And they encourage you to stay that way. They encourage you to hold this trait for life. They encourage you from every moment they hear you speak positive words, encouraging words, motivational words. They encourage you to never, ever let that go. They tell you that you are the reason that they're still your roommate. You are the reason why they work so hard to pay the bills, to show up, to open their eyes, to consistently find their purpose, because they're inspired by you. And now that you have this beautiful, encouraging roommate, there is no more worry. There is nothing to be concerned of. I mean, you could enjoy every moment with this roommate and utilize this time to embrace the connection, the conversations, the energy that this roommate brings as it's sparked by your energy into theirs. And that cycling through is like an infinite connection of positivity. And it's just flowing within you, outside of you, around you. I mean, you could decide today to give yourself permission to let go and open the door and free all the negative energy, negative decisions, negative opinions, judgments, criticism, all the negative limitations, beliefs, sensations, feelings, images. And then open up a passage, a doorway to invite the roommate that inspires you to keep showing up, to sustain your ability to trust yourself, to believe in yourself, to restamp and remind you that you are enough. You've always been enough. And even if you didn't see it, feel it, or experience it, you can do that now. That's right. You can do that now. I mean, who am I to tell you that you must let that go? You must let go of what doesn't serve you. You must open the door, delete, distort, generalize, remove, suck out, pull out, push out that inner critic, that negative roommate, so you can have more opportunities, more possibilities to adapt things like inner trust, confidence, beliefs that bring you joy, gratitude, possibilities. I mean, who am I to really tell you what you can do? The choice has always been in your hands, and it always will be in your hands. Who am I to tell you, to tell yourself it's time, to give yourself permission to kick out, to remove all these negative decisions, emotions, sensations, and feelings, all these images, beliefs, values that no longer serve you? It is up to you to let it go. And if you let it go, let it go. And when you do let it go, just notice the stillness, the space between your eyes, the space between your right ear and the space between your left ear, your right shoulder, your left shoulder. Allow that noticing to start to flow inside, through you, outside of you, from your right hip to your left hip, your right knee, driving you down into stillness, into your left knee, down your right ankle, into your left, as you allow the integration of all that you have just done, to create the coherence between your left brain and your right brain into your left brain. And then when you choose, only when you choose to decide to integrate all the things that will work for you now and that you know you have taken on board now, then I want you to imagine, and only imagine, you're counting yourself back into this space, the room that you're in, into full awareness. In a moment, I will prompt you to count your own self back from 1 to 5. And when you get to 5, you'll come back through feeling more confident, more self-aware, delved into trust, self-worth, and the ability to make decisions and choices based on everything you have done today. And now, allow me to invite you to re-invite yourself and take as much time as you need to integrate all that you've just learned and count yourself from 1 to 5 as I am here waiting for you. That's right. All the way back to here and now. Bring yourself to full awareness as you allow the unconscious mind to integrate into the conscious awareness and allow that coherence to coincide. Welcome back. Now, how did you find that experience? Did you notice it in a shift? Can you notice that when you sit in that total stillness and you give yourself the time, and you really give yourself the time to sit in stillness, how you could see what has and has not been working, where you can generate and create change. But because we're so busy and we're dragged through the things and responsibilities we have in life, the inner critic gets so loud that it stabilizes us, it freezes us, it paralyzes us in one position. But when we sit down and we listen and we negotiate and we mediate, we peel back those layers time after time, we can let things go. And then we can give ourselves the space to integrate what we really want. I'm really hoping that this video has been helpful for you. And if you really want and you really liked it, please like, subscribe, share it, put a comment. It's quite helpful so we can help other people outside of the community to enable them to have access to things like this that they may need. If you cannot afford a service of a therapist or go somewhere to negotiate something, utilize this space, utilize this channel. There are many other beautiful channels out there that you can access, okay? And what I want you to do, if you found that this resonated, watch it again. Start at where I started with the meditation and stop when I'm done, okay? And allow it to integrate. Do as many times. For all I care, get your phone. And when I start to speak in meditation, record my voice. And then when I'm done, shut it and have it on your phone and listen to it from the space of your home or wherever it is. Just make sure you don't do this when you're driving any heavy machinery, okay? Because you go into a level of trance. Meditation is a form of hypnosis, right? So I want to leave something with you that I always leave at the end. From my heart to your heart. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mind. Clear those inner critics, those roommates that don't serve you anymore. And come back home to yourself. From my heart to your heart, as always.